Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be for the three of you who are still into Helium. We're going to talk about that migration and mainly talk about the little issues going on with it, especially with the wallet, what you can and can't do, how to get your rewards, how that's going to work now, how you're going to claim them and such. Just talk about the little things that have changed because there's a lot of changes, right? So we're going to be discussing that. We're not going to be super in depth because hopefully a lot of these things will get fixed, but we do want to harp on a couple things that are time sensitive, right? So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned, all right? So let's get to it. So the number one question has been, where the heck are my rewards? Right? I go into my app and it's 0. What's going on there? So the way that the rewards are going to work now, you're going to get them at the end of the epoch. Every epoch is every 24 hours, and it's at midnight UTC. So it's about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? So you're going to get them there. You should be able to see them at the end of the day. Currently, though, we didn't get them yesterday. I'm probably not going to get them for the next couple days. Reason being that the oracles are backed up, right? Everything is queued up on those oracles. A lot of the devices, as long as they were active prior to this, they should still be active. They're still doing their thing. It's just all these transactions are backed up, right? So it is going to be a few days for them to get verified, for them to get cleared up, for them to get processed. So hopefully in the coming days, we'll be able to see them. But again, it'll be around 8 o'clock. And most likely the way it's going to work is that we're probably going to have a transaction fee hit when you claim the rewards to your wallet. Right? So they're going to sit there, they're going to be stored, but when you actually want to claim them to the wallet, not 100% sure, but most likely there will be a transaction fee. So it's not something you're going to necessarily want to do every single day. You're going to want to kind of let them stack there. When you're ready to do something with them, whether it's send them to an exchange or swap them, whatever, you're going to want to wait till you want to do that to claim them, right? Otherwise, you will get hit with that fee. Not 100% sure, not 100% clean, but pretty sure that's how it's going to end up working. So just keep that in mind. So it is going to be that once a day. Currently, the swap rate sucks, right? No better way to put it other than it sucks. It is getting better. It is supposed to get better as more HNT gets put into the treasury, right? So for every IoT device that was active within the past 30 days, everybody received about 5,800 IoT tokens, which currently is about 0.12 HNT, right? So not very good. Yesterday it was 0.06, so today it did double. We'll see what it goes up to, but again, it's something you're going to want to give a few weeks for us to get a real world value on it, right? If you do go on the new Explorer now, if you go on explorer.helium.com, go to network stats, and it does show it on there. It does show the current swap rate, right? So just keep that in mind. So same thing with the mobile token. It's not looking too good either, but again, give it a couple days. We'll see what it turns into. And if you go on here, it does actually also show the last epoch, how much time's left in the epoch. Again, it's going to be about 8 o'clock EST. And just so you can go from there, right? Another big thing to be aware of is the fact that since it's now on Solana, we do have access to DEXs, right? But fortunately, there are scams. There already was one on Radium, right? So if you go on the Discord, highly recommend for you to double check these addresses if you're going on any DEX, just to be safe, just to make sure it's not a scam, because there was a fake HNT address already for Solana, right? So be aware of that. Double check that address, make sure it's good to go before you do any of these swaps, because I know there's going to be different opportunities for like possible arbitrages depending on exchange rates, things of that sort, just because like the IoT token really doesn't have much value right now, right? So everybody's trying to figure it out. You're going to have different incentives. So just be aware of that before you just go willy-nilly on whatever, right? So there are going to be things for like Radium, for Orca. Orca seems to be the one that has the most, but unfortunately, if you're in the US, we do not have access to Orca. Not condoning it, but you can just use a VPN to get around that. Just saying, you do you. But this is kind of the cool thing, though, is that number one, you are going to be able to swap on a DEX if you'd like, if it's better than doing the treasury, which so far on Discord, that's what they're hinting to, is that most likely you're going to get better rates just doing it on the DEX versus doing it through the treasury, which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of us were hoping that it was going to be like a fixed rate from the treasury, but apparently that's not going to be the case. So just keep that in mind. So you are going to want to take a peek at those rates. But again, I would say give it a week, give it some time. That way we can kind of find a level to see where we're going. So if you want to swap, if you want to provide liquidity, this is kind of another cool thing now that we have access to. There's going to be a lot of DeFi now, right? There's even like HNT IoT pairs, back and forth, IoT USDC. If you haven't done this before, make sure you do your research. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration. Just something to look at, something to think about. The other big thing with being on Solana also is that you can also use another Solana wallet, right? There are these little bugs right now, like for example, with the current wallet. Like I tried sending some IoT. I was having issues there. Wasn't able to do that. I know people have been having issues staking within the app. There's a lot of little bugs. A lot of them are supposed to get addressed tomorrow. There is another update. There was one today. Supposed to be another update tomorrow. But just keep in mind, because it's Solana, you can just import your keys and import that wallet into, like if you have an existing Phantom wallet or Soulflare, you should be able to just get your private keys, copy them, import them into that other wallet, right? And that way they should show up there because it is Solana now. I personally haven't messed with it yet. I'm giving everything a couple of days just to kind of let it do its thing, and I just want to be able to interact within the app just to kind of mess with it. But keep in mind that that is a possibility, right? Because again, there probably will good for any of you degens. There will probably be some good like arbitrage opportunities, depending on where you go, depending on the dexes, depending on the exchange rates, depending on what you want to do, right? Because it's going to be hard right now, especially with that IoT token, to really like value it. So just keep that in mind, all right? Which is kind of the unfortunate part. I mean, this has been my biggest gripe with this whole thing from the get-go, is just the fact that we're having all these like sub-DAOs, all these other tokens. I really, really wish they would have just stuck to HNT and maybe done this later. I think my biggest gripe with it is that it's more so with the IoT token. Mobile token looks like it's going to have more promise just because Helium Mobile is coming out soon. They are going to give you like mobile tokens there. There is going to be some kind of value with that. We'll see if they integrate the IoT token at all with that, but it doesn't really seem like it, right? But my biggest thing is that if there is no current utility with the IoT token, what's going to keep happening? People are just going to keep swapping into HNT. They're going to keep swapping, keep selling, right? It's going to add immense sell pressure, and what's going to happen? It's going to tank the price of IoT. It's going to suck, right? So in reality, we may be making less HNT per day than we were prior. And that's my biggest gripe. I mean, we're going to have to give it a couple days, couple of weeks, and just see, right? Because give or take, I was earning a certain amount of HNT, and hopefully it doesn't drop much more than what it is. But I hate this whole variable aspect. I hate adding another layer in order to get the HNT. Because overall, I am bullish on the HNT token, but zero bullish on the IoT token and the mobile token, especially with these denominations. Like I also hate the freaking denominations. The fact that, especially with like that mobile token, that the exchange rate is what, it was 64 million. I hate those kind of numbers because it just has like poop coin written all over it, right? But that's a whole nother gripe. That's just my personal issue with it, but we'll see. Hopefully within a couple of weeks it pans out to the amount of IoT we earn ends up being about the same of the HNT I was earning anyway. Then at that point it's all right, right? It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, keep in mind, guys, there are issues with that HNT wallet. I know some people were having issues sending. If you want to send Solana into that wallet, it is also kind of weird. If you go into the app, you're on the main page, hit the settings button, and then under copy address, there's a tab for copy address, and you'll be able to get your Solana address from there, right? It's not very intuitive. The app is very plain Jane. Hopefully they'll work on that and they'll make it a little bit easier to use. But that way, if you want to get Solana into your wallet, especially for those of you guys who want to stake, because they did give you a little bit of Solana, but it's not enough to stake. So if you do want to stake, you do have to get some Solana in there, and that's the way to do that, right? If you're into staking for governance, which again, for me, it's not going to be for me because I would rather provide liquidity, as it's probably going to be a better APR, right? But everybody does this thing. I am waiting a couple of days. I want to let everything kind of level out, wait till I'm getting rewards before I start degenning into stuff or start providing liquidity just to kind of like let everything kind of play out, right? Because a lot of things are going to be backlogged. There are going to be bugs. There are going to be issues. Give it a few days. This is day one, right? A lot of stuff's going to keep happening. But again, hopefully a lot of the stuff does get fixed tomorrow. There's going to be another update tomorrow. It does seem like they are working diligently on it because there was an update yesterday. There was one today. And again, hopefully they're saying that there will be one tomorrow. So they get these little bugs going, right? So that way we can start doing our thing. We can start getting swaps and we can start seeing if we're earning what we were earning prior, right? That's my biggest beef. Hopefully we get that resolved. But hopefully, some of you guys can start messing with DeFi. For those of you who haven't done any of these things, very, very cool stuff, right? Very exciting. A lot of stuff to do there. But yeah, guys, just wanted to give you that update. Realistically, I wanted to wait till all these things, but I did want to make you aware of the dexes, right? Especially with that fake contract address. So make sure you guys are on Discord. It is hard to keep up though. I'm keeping up with it, but it's literally been update, and it's a lot of stuff to dig through. So my main advice would be to just chillax. Give it probably till like Monday. Hopefully, again, at the end of the days around 8 o'clock. If we do get a rewards, it'll be like that. So give it like couple of minutes after, check it, see if you got anything, and that way you can kind of start getting guesstimates as far as like what we're going to make. Again, if you go on the Explorer, go on network stats, and you'll be able to see what the current treasury swap rate is, right? Hopefully it does get better. We can see today it's 47,000. Hopefully when we do this update in a couple of days, it'll be better than that, right? If not, we'll start looking on DEXs. We'll start looking at exchange rates. I'm sure they'll get aggregators going. And this is the cool thing. Solana has so much stuff on it, right? And a lot of these things interact very well together. So hopefully there'll be like aggregators. There'll be different things. That way we can get different swap rates. And most likely the way to go is like being able to just provide liquidity, right? Being in DeFi is probably going to pay better than a lot of this. I know that's how I've been earning a lot of HNT is just trading, right? I've been swing trading a lot. It's a whole different thing, but yeah, guys, just wanted to give you that update. I will keep you updated if there is an important update, but most likely it's not going to be till Monday once a lot of the bugs hopefully get squashed and we get this thing going, right? But so far the main thing was successful, which is that migration. It's just we got to wait to see if everything's going well. It's hard, because we can't really check on our miner in real time. Hopefully, again, we do have access to all that. I know on Helium Geek, you can kind of see like some activity. But again, even that is going to take a few days to get all caught up and to get all the bugs squared away there as well. But so far, things are looking pretty good. We did get a little price action, even though everything else was on a dip. So that was a good sign as well. But this was a key thing, guys, because if this thing completely failed or it didn't work, then wasn't going to be good. So hopefully that part is good. All of these things are just little issues within the wallet, right? A lot of these things, again, should be squared away within the next couple days. We'll see. We'll see what we're earning, right? All right, guys. So thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And I am out.